Yes, Mr. Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Lord, he was to file an affidavit pursuant to my lord's
No,
last
I had
order.
asked him to even orally inform us. Now, what have you done
Oh.
with respect to other schools, other Sanskrit schools, which has been granted affiliation, which was granted affiliation under the 1976 rules and was also given financial assistance? Now, with the new rule of 1993, you are making certain infrastructure as a necessary
Requirement.
precondition for grant of sanction, for grant of financial
Recognition.
assistance. So that will apply across the board or only with new affiliation? That's what I want to know from you.
No, the affiliation recognition.
आपने बात समझा कि नहीं समझा? वैसे
Lordship.
ऑफ एंड आंसर करेंगे, ब्लैंक एक्सप्रेशन देखकर तो हमें लगेगा कि आप जो पढ़ के आए वही बोलेंगे. हमने आपको एक बात कही थी yesterday only, perhaps you did not make note of it. आपको मैंने क्या कहा? मैं आपके एक्सप्रेशन से, वैक्यूअस एक्सप्रेशन जो आप दे रहे हैं उससे हमें लग रहा है कि मैं जो चाह रहा हूं आप तैयार नहीं किए, बोल नहीं रहे. हमने आपको स्पेसिफाई कर दिया था कि संस्कृत शिक्षा बोर्ड के जन्म के पहले बहुत सारे संस्कृत स्कूल्स थे जो कंट्रोल होते थे फ्रॉम कामेश्वर सिंह संस्कृत यूनिवर्सिटी. संस्कृत शिक्षा बोर्ड आया और इंस्पेक्शन वगैरह करके आप लोगों ने 102 स्कूल के लिए रिकमेंड किया कि साहब इन्हें फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस भी होनी चाहिए, एफिलिएशन भी होनी चाहिए. आपने पहले कहा एफिलिएशन और उसके बाद फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस. उस 102 स्कूल में से 68 स्कूल्स को फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस मिल गया. 42 जिसमें ये स्कूल्स हैं उनको नहीं मिला. इनकी इंस्पेक्शन 76 रूल्स के तहत 81, 82, 85 3 बार हुई. हर बार आपने रिकमेंड किया, संस्कृत शिक्षा बोर्ड ने रिकमेंड किया, यस दे आर गुड, दे आर रनिंग अ गुड इंस्टीट्यूट व्हिच रिक्वायर्स टू बी गिवन एफिलिएशन. इतनी बार आप लोगों ने बस
But the recognition was
फैक्ट्स याद हो गया.
Lordship, but the recognition was.
बात तो सुनिए. इसके बाद एक रिट फाइल हुआ कि साहब जब आप उनको दे रहे हैं फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस तो इन स्कूल्स को क्यों नहीं देंगे? मैटर वाज रेफर्ड टू सम अथॉरिटी ऑफ द संस्कृत शिक्षा बोर्ड और ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट to take stock of the situation and report and take a decision. Nothing happened. In the meantime, you rejected their prayer, saying that now let them. No, you did not reject their prayer. Sorry. Here again, if my memory serves me right, now you gave them temporary financial assistance till about 2015, but you asked them to submit their institution for further inquiry and inspection in terms of 1993 rules, which they are objecting. Right? They have got no locus to object that. We will give that right to you, Mr. Sundaram, provided you tell us that this inspection you will be carrying on across the board. आप समझे बात?
Your Lordship, this exercise of
समझे कि नहीं बात? आप
Lordship,
क्या समझे?
this exercise.
कोई भी आंसर सुनने के पहले मैं ये कंफर्म करूंगा कि मेरी बात समझे कि नहीं. आपने इनको फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस दी है, ये गलत लिखे हुए हैं पिटीशन में कि हमको नहीं मिला है. ये बात की एफिडेविट में इन्होंने लिखा है कि इनको 2015 तक फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस मिला और हो सकता है आज भी मिलता हो, लेकिन ये अफ्रेड इस बात के लिए हैं कि अब इनकी इंस्पेक्शन होगी तो वो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस बंद हो जाएगा. इनके डर से हमें कोई मतलब नहीं है.
फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस अभी तक नहीं मिला हुजूर इनको.
तो ये गलत लिखा है.
2015 में दिया गया, फिर इंक्वायरी हुई, पेंडिंग हो गया और डिस्प्यूट्स दिस ऑनरेबल कोर्ट के सामने आया और ये फिर चला गया इंस्पेक्शन में. एंड
अच्छा, तो एक बार ऑर्डर होने के बाद फिर इंस्पेक्शन में चला गया.
और 3-man committee was constituted to inquire all 69 institutions and the inquiry is pending. My learned friend has challenged that part of the order that is premature. I'm saying that's only saying that inquiry is being conducted. 1993 rules के तहत जो
वहां पर आप रुक जाइए एक मिनट. वो इंक्वायरी आप करें बेशक, यू आर ऑथराइज्ड, इनफैक्ट यू डू अ गुड जॉब बाय मेकिंग दैट इंक्वायरी. तो ये केवल इसी पर कर रहे हैं या और लोगों?
all 69. All 69.
All 69.
Lordship, that's relevant. This Honorable Court's order, in compliance of that, this inquiry is being initiated.
Where is that?
Lordship.
That is, my lord.
Where is that?
That
This
lordship
is
will
your-
get in the writ application, my lord.
Writ
No, let Mr.
application.
Sundaram say.
Writ application, your lordship.
Annexure 11, page 46,
Annexure
Lord.
11.
Page 46. CWJC number 2787 of 17.
नहीं ये कौन है 8469 of 2018
जी जी
उस रिट में पेज
जी
नंबर
46.
Direct the principal secretary of education to examine and so paragraph 9 of the order, pursuant to this part of the order having been passed by the court, 69 these schools come in the 69.
69.
The principal secretary of education department will be obliged to examine every case of the school who have been granted recognition, and if it transpires that recognition has been granted in teeth of statutory provisions. So this inquiry is still pending.
Lordship.
So therefore he is asking for therefore he went before the learned single judge asking for a direction that the inquiry should be done in terms of the regulation of 1976 and not 1993. That's what he says.
Yes, my lord.
Your Lordship.
We are not accepting that.
Next document, your Lordship may kindly see. At
नहीं,
page,
आप हमें ये बताइए 1993 rules and 1976 rules, are they different?
My
Lordship.
lord, some of the
Lordship, in 2007, recognition of these appellants' institutions were granted. Where-
2007.
2007, where 1993 rules are in existence. And these settled principles of law that the law existing as on the date of consideration would prevail. So 1976 rule has no relevancy. First and second is, if my learned friend emphasized that 76 rules would be applicable in his case, then he will not receive any financial grant, because in 1976 there is no such provision. It is in 1993 rules amendment which has been made in 2013. He is able to receive financial grant.
Very good, Mr.
So this part, financial.
You need not dwell any further. That is the clincher. Yes, Mr. Rajiv Kumar sir.
Lord,
That is the clincher. We will decide it on this.
So one part
Therefore-
which financial assistance is
Therefore-
concerned is accepting,
Mr. Sundaram, thank
and
you.
another part is not accepting.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Singh, you
Lord.
don't have a case.
My lord,
And the
kindly,
original order
Just
has
a
not been,
minute.
Lordship, may only,
Just a minute, you have said that should you accept that position, don't clamor for any financial assistance, but we are not doing it because that will be counterproductive. We are
No,
only
my lord.
dismissing your appeal, just that.
my lord, kindly appreciate, my lord.
You are making different statement, Mr. Singh.
My lord, I was making, my
I
lord,
don't say you are making a wrong statement, but you are making a statement which had the potency of, deflecting the course of justice.
no, my lord, that is not the
You
case.
were not granted recognition earlier also. You were granted recognition only in 2007.
Yes, my lord.
When 1993 rules were in
My lord,
existence.
very first day, right from the very first day, my lord, I am submitting before my lords that I was granted recognition in the year 2007, that is Annexure 4.
But what makes you say that you deserve to be treated as if you were in existence and you were granted recognition under the 76 rules? Why?
My lord, in the year 2007, I was granted recognition pursuant to the rule of 1976.
How does it say so?
That order says, my lord, it's not
Oh, that was some
Annexure
order.
4, if your lordship may kindly see page 30, my lord, of the same writ application. Annexure 4, page 30. My lord, my friend is arguing, my lord, contrary to the records.
No.
It is the record of the state government, my lord.
Let
They
us
have
see.
issued direction
Let us see,
direction for recognition.
Let us see.
Annexure 4, my lord, page 30. It is a letter of the state government.
Annexure 4.
At page 30, my lord, 30. Last paragraph, if I may be permitted to place, my lord.
उक्त प्रस्तुति विभागीय संकल्प संख्या 100 में निहित वित्त रहित होगी।
जी,
आप क्यों चाहते हैं इनको वित्त देना? इनकी रिकॉर्ड कर देते हैं स्टेटमेंट, इनकी एफिलिएशन बरकरार रहेगी, इनको वित्त नहीं मिलेगा। इफ दैट सेटिस्फाइज मिस्टर सुंदरम,
if my learned friend is ready.
I am telling you, do you have any difficulty? This is what he is pressing. If he thinks that it is
my lord,
Lordship,
my
just a minute, Mr. Sundaram. If he thinks that by pressing this he will gain advantage for his institutions, let him do so.
Your Lordship, you allow me, I want to say something.
अरे हम आपके तरफ से बोल रहे
हाँ
हैं।
ठीक है हुजूर, हम एक चीज़ कहना चाह रहे हैं हुजूर कि जो इंक्वायरी पेंडिंग है, ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट के डायरेक्शन में लिखा हुआ है कि अगर किन्हीं इंस्टीट्यूशन के अगेंस्ट आप कुछ करेंगे, यू विल बी ऑब्लाइज टू कंप्लाई प्रिंसिपल ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस। सो टिल डेट
उस पर बहस नहीं है।
नहीं, हम ये कह रहे हैं हुजूर कि ये जो है प्री मैच्योर्ड है, इसलिए कि इनके खिलाफ अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ, इंक्वायरी पेंडिंग है।
वो उस पर बहस ही नहीं है।
अगर इनके अगेंस्ट कुछ होता हुजूर तब ये कोर्ट आते, इनका रिकॉग्निशन कैंसिल होता।
ये नहीं है। It is he is only seeking a direction. That is what he wanted from the single judge. That was rejected. He has challenged that order of the single judge, saying that I should not be subjected to any scrutiny under the 1993 rules.
that is the limited
ये
prayer.
यहाँ पर इसलिए कह रहे हैं कि ये इनकी ये जो एनेक्चर 4 है,
जी,
इसमें 76 की चर्चा है और वित्त रहित है, वो ध्यान से हट गया हमारे। तो
76 में वित्त रही
अभी
थी।
मैं लिखा देता हूं कि अगर ये 1976 की चर्चा करेंगे तो वित्त ये कंसीड करेंगे कि हमको वित्त नहीं चाहिए। करिए ऐसा करेंगे आप?
my lord, still I am continuing, my lord. My schools are continuing, my lord. Even till today, my lord.
Then perhaps he is intelligent. He thinks that otherwise, if 1993 rules inspection
my lord,
is
kindly
made, he
appreciate.
will lose his affiliation also.
Yes, my lord. Because, my lord, the criteria of affiliation has been changed, my lord. So far, 1976 is concerned.
He will lose his affiliation also.
That is my lord.
ये एप्रीहेंशन है ना हुजूर, ये प्रिंसिपल ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट ने डायरेक्ट किया है
Lord,
कि
apprehension is
किसी
based on the
के,
rule.
एक सेकेंड हुजूर, किसी के अगेंस्ट आप कुछ करेंगे तो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस उनको हियरिंग देंगे और ये काउज ऑफ एक्शन एरोज करेगा तब। अभी तो कुछ भी इनके अगेंस्ट नहीं है।
You're simplifying the issue. Now, this is not what he has come. He says something will happen to him. That's a different thing altogether. He was only seeking a direction from the single judge that I am subjecting myself to the scrutiny, but under the 1976 rules. That needs to be clarified.
So all 69 institutions were subjected to 1993 rules. 2007 recognition was granted. This letter is patently incorrect, Your Lordship.
This letter annexure 4.
Lordship, 2007 recognition granted.
Where have you said that this could be a mistake? This is
Nowhere.
incorrect.
Nowhere.
No, we'll have to record that, no? What you're suggesting makes sense to me.
Your Lordship,
Because 1970, this recognition in 2007 could not have been under the old rules when it was repealed.
Lordship.
No,
And therefore, learned single judge held that it 1993.
you have to upgrade,
should be
Mr. Singh,
applicable.
no difficulty.
My lord, Lord.
No more, no
Lordship,
further
may
argument.
kindly bear for a moment, my lord. Now, my lord, this order, my lord, Annexure 4 was issued, your lordship, pursuant to the order passed by this honorable court. Now, my lord, this honorable court, your lordship, directed the respondents to consider the claim of petitioner and decide the issue. They, my lord, kept the matter pending. Then, my lord, we came before this honorable court in contempt jurisdiction. Then this Annexure 7 was issued, my lord. Now, my lord, while issuing Annexure 4 was issued, my lord. While issuing Annexure 4, my lord, they have taken note of the earlier order passed by this honorable court in favor of the appellants, my lord. And then Annexure 4 has been issued. And till date, my lord, it is in force. What my friend is saying, my lord, that is a patent illegal order, my lord, then the state could have been recall that order, my lord. But till date, my lord, this order is in force. Now, my lord, why I am afraid, your lordship, that if the inspection will be done pursuant to the rule 1993,
We
my
will
lord.
specify here
Yes, my lord.
that any inspection which is to be made has to be made under 1993 rules because this is in existence. You want to be, you
No,
want
no,
a
my lord,
specific direction?
because that is my grievance, my lord, because
No,
once, my lord,
we are not accepting your argument and we are making it clear for the Sanskrit section.
now, my lord, kindly appreciate, my lord, the school which were, my lord, established pursuant to rule 1976.
Upgrade yourself.
My lord,
Suppose the other building, the new building would not have come up. Where would the judges, where would they have held court?
my lord, here, my
Every
lord,
institution-
my lord, sufficient space was there, my lord.
Every
So the
institution-
other
every
building was
institution-
constructed.
every
Now, your lordship, may kindly see, my lord, the
No,
basic
no,
difference, my lord.
No further arguments.
My lord, kindly appreciate for a moment, my lord, one thing, my lord. My lord, on the last occasion, I have passed on, your lordship, the two rules, my lord, 76 and 93.
No, we are
if that
not
is
getting
there.
into all that.
Because that is my, my lord,
We
that
are-
is my.
निरसन और व्यावृत्ति पर ही हम जाएंगे. It is all the provisions of the earlier rules stand repealed. Your recognition was granted in 2007, notwithstanding the letter of the government that it is under 1976 rules. We will take it to be from 1993 rules. Assuming but not admitting a fresh inspection is being made, it ought to be made in terms of 1993 rules, or you lose your affiliation and financial assistance both. That's all.
My lord, I am not getting the
Period.
financial assistance, my lord. That
Again, you
Annexure
are
4
not
itself.
understanding what I am saying. If others are getting financial assistance, other 69 institutions, and you fall in the category of such institutions which has sufficient infrastructure according to 1993 rules, you will not say no to the financial assistance and they shall grant you. You can take it and give it in charity. But otherwise 1993 rules you have to subject yourself to, even for affiliation. We will ignore everything else.
That is the reason, my lord, I was referring to these two rules, my lord. If your lordship may kindly permit, my lord.
We take it that these rules are diametrically different.
Ji.
So we accept it. We will record it in our order.
Then, my lord, the school which have been granted affiliation, my lord, pursuant to Annexure 4, my lord, the appellants here, my lord,
No,
they will
question
lose
is,
their
Mr.
recognition,
Singh,
my lord.
Mr. Singh, you are only banking on that letter which you have annexed as Annexure 4.
And that
That's
is the
right.
letter by which I have been
That's the
granted
letter.
recognition.
That's the reason why nobody is telling you that your statement is incorrect.
Ji.
And therefore this court is not telling you that your statement is incorrect. But the different factual scenario has been projected because of this. Now, are you in a position to say that other institutions which do not conform to the standards of 1993 rules are also getting financial assistance? Are you saying this?
That, my lord, so far other institutions are concerned, my lord, I am not aware, my lord.
Therefore, today the requirement is we will give a parity. Now, there may be many other rules of appointment, but the rule which is existing today, it has to be decided according to this. 2 weeks ago, Supreme Court has said.
My lord, I am not challenging the
alright.
rule of 1993, my lord. It is not under challenge, my
Are
lord.
we suggesting that you should challenge?
No, my lord. What I am submitting before,
Can
your
you
lord,
do that?
at this
You
belated,
cannot.
yes, my lord, at
For
this
the reason
belated
you
stage, my
cannot,
lord,
unless you subject yourself to the scrutiny under the rules, you cannot. Sorry, I think we sort of relied unnecessarily on that annexure 4 of yours.
My Lord, Annexure
On this
4
file,
is
it
the
could have been
letter.
decided on the first
Now,
page.
Lordship may kindly appreciate, my Lord, once, my Lord, Lordship will pass any adverse order,
We are
supposing,
not
my
passing
Lord.
any adverse order. We are not passing any adverse
My
order.
Lord, the moment, my Lord, the institution will be inspected pursuant to Rule 1993, my Lord, they will lose their recognition, my Lord. Because the parameters for recognition, my Lord, has been changed, my Lord, drastically, my Lord.
What can
In
be?
1976, my Lord.
Have you challenged this order? Have you challenged the order passed
No.
in CWJC number 2787?
My Lord, we
No.
were not party in that case, my Lord.
You may not have been. You may not have
My
been.
Lord, pursuant to that
No,
letter,
does this court require to inform you?
No,
that
no, no.
If you are adversely affected, even if you are not a party, you are
my Lord,
required to challenge it.
pursuant to that order, when the notice was issued to us, my Lord, that your school will be inspected pursuant to Rule 1993, my Lord,
That was
that
good.
order has been challenged, my
No,
Lord.
no, no.
That order is under
What
challenge.
happened? What happened?
That writ application has been dismissed and I am before your lordship, my Lord. The order, my Lord, pursuant to which, my Lord, pursuant to the order passed by this honorable court was
That was
issued.
a sequel order, Mr. Singh.
That is, my Lord, annexure, if your lordship may kindly
No,
see annexure 12, page 52.
On principle, we do not want any institution to be run in the state which do not conform to the latest rules. Period.
My Lord, if I may be permitted to submit, my Lord, earlier the requirement was, your lordship, very limited piece of land. Now it has been changed, my Lord.
Upgrade.
My Lord, we are, my Lord, not getting any financial assistance from
You
the
will
state.
get one. Provided you, I mean, why should
My Lord,
you?
I have to purchase the land. Now your lordship may kindly appreciate
We
the
can't.
cost of land of today's and that time, my Lord. And in the city, my Lord, if I have to purchase the land, my Lord.
Sorry, sir. We will not be able to give premium to an institution which has not upgraded itself, even for affiliation, what to talk of financial assistance.
My Lord, I have been granted affiliation in the year 2007, my Lord. Even though, my Lord, they were aware that 1993 rule is in force. But they have granted recognition, my Lord, in the year 1970.
Let them take a call. You have created a ghost for yourself.
My Lord, they have
I've-
issued the order, my Lord. Your Lordship may kindly appreciate, my Lord. In the
Mr.
year
आप
2007
बात नहीं
itself, my
समझते
Lord.
हैं। haven't you created a ghost now?
My Lord,
Were they making any question? Were they questioning you with respect to the infrastructure? No.
my Lord, pursuant to
You
Rule
had-
1993, they have issued notice to us, my
You
Lord.
had a bad dream in the night and you came running to this court.
No, no, my Lord. Pursuant to the notice I have come before, that is under challenge in the writ jurisdiction, my Lord. That notice, my Lord, annexure 12, my Lord, I was referring to. That is under challenge, my Lord. That was under challenge before the writ proceeding, my Lord. Page 52.
Page?
52, my Lord, annexure 12 of the writ application. Against this, my Lord, the writ application was filed.
क्या है? What is it?
Yeah, this is the notice, my Lord, which has been issued to the schools, my Lord. This has been issued, my Lord, pursuant to the Rule 1993.
Oh, ठीक.
Then, my Lord, we came before this honorable court. We were not aware of this fact that this order has been passed. So it is not the case, my Lord, that we, my Lord, on its own came before this honorable court that we will be inspected under Rule 1993 and we will be having, my Lord, difficulty in the case of recognition of the school, my Lord. Pursuant to this notice, my Lord, we came before this honorable court.
It
This is the order, my
constitution-
Lord, which is under challenge.
It is constitution of committees, not notice.
नहीं नहीं ठीक है. Argument इनका है. That's an argument which is required to be met. I mean, it can't be brushed aside. We'll deal with it. Mr.
So,
Singh,
my Lord,
we'll deal with it. We are not giving it.
even if, then, my Lord, in alternative, my Lord, if I may be permitted to submit, my Lord. If, my Lord, the state government want to inspect the schools, my Lord, then, my Lord, so far the part of land which are the requirement of the 1993 rule, my Lord, at least that part, my Lord, they,
In what capacity? In what capacity will we dilute the rules like this?
because, my Lord, they have given recognition pursuant to the 1974 rule, my Lord.
Was this matter discussed before the single judge?
My Lord, at that
I
time.
mean, you are appearing before a division bench against the order passed by a single judge. This was never in contemplation.
My Lord, that time, Lord, I was not here, my Lord. So.
I mean, argument with quite ingenuity, I must say.
My Lord, I
I'll
was
have to
not
meet
there,
on
so
this.
I cannot say, my Lord, whether this point was raised before that a single judge
No.
was not, my Lord. I am not aware
It
of
could
that.
not have been.
So, my lord,
Without challenging the rules of 1993, the High Court does not possess the powers under Article 142 to decide that, well, you were granted under the 1976 rules and you are very confident that 1976 rules only would apply, and therefore if 1993 rules have to be applied in the interest of justice, let the inspection be done minus sans the requirement of land. ये तो 142 में करेंगे हम, अभी हम लेटर्स पेटेंट क्लॉज 10 में हैं.
saving clause hota hai. Your lordship are aware that there is a saving clause in every, my lord, amended rule, my lord. That saves, my lord, the.
But we are not getting persuaded. You have argued to the best of your ability. You have held us back for 3 sessions. Let us dismiss it now. But good that you applied your mind and that you made the bench think. That's all right. But we are not giving any advantage to you for all this effort. I'm so sorry.
Because, my lord, they have issued the order.
Heard Mr.
Now, my lord,
Rajiv Kumar. All right. Heard Mr. Rajiv Kumar Singh, learned advocate for the appellant schools, and Mr. Satyam Shivam Sundaram for the Sanskrit Shiksha, Bihar Sanskrit Shiksha Board. Mr. Sashekar Tiwari represents the state. The appellants have challenged the order dated 7/5/2018, passed in CWJC number 8469 of 2018, whereby the prayer made on behalf of the appellants for a direction to the authorities for inspection of the schools under the 1976 rules has been rejected. First up, the only ground which has weighed with the court in rejecting the prayer of the appellants is that if admittedly the recognition was granted to these schools in 2007, it was during the currency and tenure of the application of 1993 rules. First up, the learned single judge has also gone through the provisions of the 1993 rules and has found that one of the clauses of the rules specify that all earlier rules in that regard stand superseded. First up, Mr. Singh, learned advocate for the appellants, has very vehemently argued that the recognition to the schools in question were granted in 2007 with a specific disclosure of the government that such recognition was without any financial assistance and under the 1976 rules. He further submits that there is the requirement under the 2 rules, that is the 1976 and 1993 rules, are diametrically different, and some of the conditions under the 1993 rules are more onerous so far as the infrastructural part of a school, so far as the infrastructure of such schools are concerned. Under the 1993 rules, a school to have the recognition of the board is required to possess minimum number of possess a requisite area of land, which requirement was not there in the 1976 rules. First, the appellants therefore apprehend that if their institutions are subjected to scrutiny and inquiry, subjected to what is that called?
Inspection.
Subjected to inspection under the 1993 rules, perhaps those schools would lose their recognition and affiliation. First up, the aforesaid fear in the mind of the appellants is atavistic and cannot be redressed. First up, once it is admitted that the recognition of these schools were granted in 2007, which was during the currency and application of the 1993 rules, the difficulty and the insurmountable difficulties faced by the institutions would not give any justification for diluting the provisions of 1993 rules. The 1993 rules, being onerous in many respects, provides many other premium to such institutions primarily being financial assistance from the government. First up, the institutions cannot blow hot and cold in the same breath. First up, if recognition is solicited, as also the financial assistance, it would be incumbent upon such institutions to upgrade themselves so far as infrastructure is concerned. First up, considering all these aspects, we do not find any fault with the order passed by the learned single judge. The petition is thus dismissed. Needless to state that it has also been brought to the notice of this court by the learned counsel for the Sanskrit Shiksha Board that pursuant to the order passed by this court, in this order passed by a bench of this court on 13/10/2017 in CWJC number 2787 of 2017, such an inspection exercise has begun at the level of the government, for which the appellant schools were noticed. First off, it was only after the receipt of such notice, which declared that such inspection shall be made under the 1993 rules, that the appellants chose to approach this court for a direction for inspection under the 1976 rules. First off, Mr. Sundaram, learned counsel for the board, submits that the fears of that the petition otherwise also, that the writ petition otherwise also was premature, as no decision was taken, as no inspection was completed, and therefore no sequel decision was taken. इसको बीच में कहीं लिखना. All right.